There we go. All right, guys, time to go to work, man. Guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Had a little delay there. Fixed my camera, guys. Happy Thursday. Hopefully you're all well. It's stuff like this that really jacks me to bring out to the audience here on Facebook and the YouTubes and all the platforms that I do for America's Mentor. And I covered this a few nights ago with Kurt, and you might have seen the post under grudges. But this is, how should we say, the behind the scenes of why I show this stuff here on America's Mentor. It's the residuals. Like if you guys invest in in stocks, or you get residuals from it. Well, your thoughts have residuals. You just can't see them yet. They're not tangible. And this is why I bring this stuff, because I lived on both sides of that coin. I lived on the side of the coin that was detrimental to my health, and then I lived on the side of the coin that I live now. And I'm very proud to show those two pictures of me. One from, actually, I think it's like 9 years ago, of the old Jer to the new Jer, just by changing how I think. And I got the evidence now to back that shit. Actually, I always had the evidence. I try to find more to help you guys and just install in your mind that just a flick of the switch of your brain, of your thoughts and your patterns of thoughts. You know, a lot of us, I thought, credulous as as I am, back many moons ago when I first started on this journey, a little meditation in the morning is going to get rid of all your problems. It's not. Reaching the divine for 20 minutes a day is great, but it's basically a little snippet of what you have to do to really create the life you want. And once you do it, it becomes a natural behavior. And that's what I did. This is, and I still do to this day, mind you. It's the natural patterns of having tonic thoughts compared to toxic thoughts. Tonic is invigorating thoughts that uplift you. Those are the goals and the dreams. Toxic thoughts, that's why they have that skull and bones on there, man. They can kill you quickly or slowly. Your thoughts are a preamble to your future, guys. It's what you dictate every single day. And there was a doctor I was introduced to, not personally, but his work, that really showed how the physical side of what we can't see manifests into what we can see. And I love that. But I'm going to go right to the quote box tonight, because this is relevant and it makes sense. If you guys are into truly changing your life from toxic thoughts to tonic thoughts to creating the life that you've always wanted, it's a daily process. Just like you've created who you are now. It was a daily process that turned into a natural behavior. You're just reinstalling something different to that hard drive, that mindset. And when you realize it, you don't have to really even think about it anymore. It's going to become your natural trait, hence creature of habit that you want to be of in life. And it's a great way to live. It's a great way to approach life, knowing that you are in complete control. You know what the ramifications are and the residuals of how you're thinking about now. And when you understand that and grasp that, stepping into the divine is not going to be some 20-minute show in the morning or whenever you do it. It's going to be a daily practice of your everyday thoughts that you carry out in this life. What is the result of that? The residuals of peace, the residuals of good health, the residuals of being in a place where you've always wanted to be. Doesn't have to be in the physical sense, the physical realm per se. It's you as a person living the way you want mentally and then creating that physically. And it's the anticipation of the tangibility in your hand that you've created out of nothing. That is the most, it makes you so proud of yourself. And that's why I love bringing this to you. And I'm just going on this banter tonight, man. Let me just be quiet and get right to the quote box. At the quote box, what you hold on is what you bring on. This is, Kurt and I talked about grudges the other night. And we approach it on a round table for the West Coast show. We go back and forth. America's Mentor is just informative. I'm just saying, look, this is what I got. Here you go. It's all for you, man. You guys make your choice up. There's no opinion about it. You make up your own opinion about what I'm bringing. Moreover, you do your research on it. Because if you've been through the realm of toxic thoughts that have creating toxic events in your life, hence diseases, events and circumstances, you'll realize how powerful you are. You'll realize that you are the commander of, what is it? 100 trillion. And that's a guesstimate, mind you. They went from 36 to 100 trillion cells in your body that are just waiting for you to tell it what to do. And how they react from those thoughts and feelings can create the most amazing life, or it's going to slowly have that skull and bones factor in your life. And a lot of you have gone through that with chronic illnesses, diseases, and events, and losing everything like I did, self-sabotage, drug use, getting onto drug use. It's amazing how, when I grew up, they called them drug stores. They got rid of that later on in life, and they started calling them pharmacies because that's more, how should we say, it's not so harsh. But back in I think it was the 80s, I think the Reagan era, they had this commercial, a PSA, and I'll get to my point with the quote box and the doctor I'm going to talk about. They had a PSA, and they showed this hot frying pan. You guys in the 50s can remember this, in the age of the 50s, 50-year-olds. They had a hot frying pan, and they showed an egg, and they said, this is your brain. Then they cracked the egg and put it in the hot frying pan and watched it fry. This is your brain on drugs, indeed. But it's amazing now. All you see is drugs everywhere to try to alter your brain state. So how crazy is this? They changed the name to make it more, how should you say, pleasant. But they're giving you the same shit they're telling you to avoid. So think about it for yourself. I'm going to get to my point here, guys. You can use any form of these emotions. I use grudge because it's so powerful. It's like hate with sprinkles on top. And not in a good way, believe me. You hold a grudge. What you hold on is what you bring on. You hold a grudge, that noun, that person, place, and or thing in creation. It's a feeling of deep-seated resentment and ill will. This is where your feelings and emotions talk to those 36 to 100 trillion cells. They had 36 trillion cells in the adult male. But then there was different information stating that we're up to 100 trillion. It's amazing how these feelings and emotions really counteract and are in sequence with what you're thinking about. I saw on Instagram today, there was I guess they showed Hitler's Colosseum. And what this was a massive concrete structure with a huge road in front of it. You guys seen the military parades. And this is where he used to have the military parades. And they showed this guy standing on the platform where he used to stand. This is so vast. They haven't taken it down. So vast out there. And you can see the guy standing there, and all you see is a landscape. And then you see a whole picture of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. That's like you standing on the stage of life and your cells are waiting for you to tell it what to do. This is what I'm talking about as far as tonic or toxic thoughts. Your cells are just waiting. And they're saying, look, what do you want us to do? You want us to create the feelings of grudge, of love, of peace, and how it affects the body? It's all waiting in unison for you to tell it what to do. And how do you tell it what to do? Your feelings. You start feeling that ill will or deep-seated resentment, your cells have nothing else or nothing better to do to say, okay, I'm going to create some diseases. I'm going to create all kinds of issues where you need more drugs in your life to help fix the problem. Whereas tonic thoughts, your cells are saying, wait a minute, we like this kind of stuff, man. This is where it alters your physicality. That's the picture I was showing you guys of the Jer from 8 or 9 years ago to now. I'm still the same person. I'm still eating the same food. I'm still doing the same thing on a physical level, but on a mental level, this is what the epigenetics kicks in. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, who I've mentioned here on America's Mentor many, 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 many times, really gave me the structure to understand, and he spoke it in so juvenile terms, coming from a scientist who basically was at the forefront of stem cell research. He went from stem cell research onto cell biology to epigenetics, and all of this surrounded by who he was at the time. And now he basically follows that because he understands how the cells are embodied and how they take, how should we say, commands by what we think and feel every single day. And I love his works on this, because to hold as part of the quote box is to have possession or ownership, or to have at one's disposal. See, he was like me. He lived both sides of the coin. He was the toxic thinker, an actual scientist toxic thinker. And he used to say in these interviews how he used to lose his shit during experiments and not understand what he was doing, until he realized, when he switched his way of thinking, did more research on it, and realized he was helping himself by being that way. And he went into more in depth on that with his research. And stem cell research was just a forefront. That's just basically how the molecular structure of who we are becomes. It's our DNA. And DNA is great, because the DNA that you have and I have is so unique, nobody else has it, indeed. But it also takes commands from you on how it reacts and resists potential deadly viruses, infections, and diseases, all by your thought. This is great, because people say, oh, it's in my genes. No, meatball, it's your thinking that's causing the problem in your life. Your genes, and he stated it in many of his works, that have nothing to do with anything out there except your environment that triggers the gene to do what you're telling it to do, inadvertently, or you're actually doing it on purpose. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I love bringing this, because this is your PSA to make your decision of how you want to live, in a toxic environment or a tonic environment. And that's what he goes into. And some of his quotes are amazing. I'm going to read them. They're kind of verbose, but it's for those who indeed have lived both sides of the spectrum. They've lived one way and they want to find out how to live another way, because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And this is what I mean. It's all about your thinking. It's all about how you manage your thoughts, not stepping into the divine for 15 or 20 minutes every morning or whenever you feel like it. It's a natural effect of your thinking that creates the patterns of thought in your life. And therefore, the tangibility of those thoughts start coming from out of nowhere. This is where the law of attraction kicks in. This is what I want you guys to grasp on for yourself, because a lot of you out there have had scary issues of being ill, or situations like that. You don't know why they've happened. This is kind of the blueprint of the physical body part. But indeed, it affects all of us. It affects all of us, because we're all connected. We're all connected. So here we go. Some of his words are powerful. Now, I'm going to read it to you guys very slow for you to understand. It's only a change of thinking that literally is going to change everything about you. It starts mentally, but then it gradually builds out to the physicality of yourself. Believe me when I tell you, I'm living proof, meatball. And believe me, it's an amazing feeling. Here we go. This is what Dr. Lipton said. Our perception of the environment is a reflection of our internal state of being. Hence, your opinion. How do you see the most beautiful flower in front of you? Do you see a flower, or do you see how beautifully detailed it is? This is what he's talking about, how you see life. And this is the most powerful part. The mind and body are not separate entities. They are part of one system. This is why I love bringing this here. The mind and body connection. This is what he's talking about. The mind starts the process and the body evolves into it. And this is what, it's just, your mind is basically all around you, and it's called your aura. This is where it just goes all around you, and it attracts what you want in your life. I'll read it again. The mind and body are not separate entities. They are part of one system. The mind is not the brain. The mind is the field that surrounds the body. Isn't that, think about it, guys, think about it. Mind is basically nothing but energy. And you control that energy which is around you. Hence your aura. And this is what attracts what you want and or don't want in your life. And this is what he's getting at from the research that he has done. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, I think he's in his late 80s, but if you look at him in his pictures, maybe he looks like in his mid 60s. It's an amazing how epigenetics and the mind-body connection go hand in hand to create or destroy your life. And this is why I love bringing stuff like this out here on America's Mentor. He goes on to say, the moment you change your perception, is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. Hence, everything inside of you. It's those 100 trillion or 36 trillion cells listening to what you're telling it. This is why I love bringing this out here. It's just everything in life is what you tell it to be. This is the beauty about life. I love it. Your body is asking, what do you want, meatball? You want us to be in tonic thoughts or toxic thoughts? And whatever you choose, we're going to create and or destroy in your life just by what you're thinking about every single day. Your thoughts and emotions are like signals that communicate with your cells and influence their behavior. There is the epigenetics facts behind that. And I love his teachings on that, because when you start jacking your 36 or 100 trillion cells in your body that start connecting with all these things in life out there, because we are a powerful, energetic force. Our mind is basically our aura. I love that because it just tells you what you're bringing in life. That's your spirit. That's your energy. That's your chi that you're sending out with your thoughts and feelings every day. And your body, sadly, is a target for whatever you're sending out, or a good thing. Because if you're sending out tonic thoughts about life, and your perception of life is this beautiful effect of my thinking. I did that. This is what I tell myself every day. I am so proud of myself. I tell myself every day, I created this vision in my life. Not what I'm talking about, but my opinion of it. This is the beauty that in the choice that you guys have every day. You can relish in or hold grudges or hatred or ill will about some meatball that hurt you 5 years ago. They're out, they're gone, they're doing their thing. You're still taking the pain every single day. Your body has nothing more to say, okay, fine, we're going to give you more of that in your physical reality. Let it go, however you can, and whatever you can do to bring out that best you in all you do. And Kurt asked me a beautiful question. He goes, Jer, how do you let go of a grudge? How do you let go of hate? How do you let go of the ill will that's, he said, supposedly destroying you? Because he's great. He brings the other perspective on America's New Escape. And I like that because he likes to question what I'm bringing. And I like to show him the so-called facts or whatever you guys want to believe in. Because a lot of people don't believe in this because they can't see it. Indeed, I get it. I get it. But when you start getting into that and you start understanding what you're creating in life, you realize it's all around you. It's in your thoughts, it's in your perception, it's in your opinion of life that's only giving you back your self-fulfilling prophecy, hence your karma. You want to live a karmic life? Start living in tonic thoughts of the way you want to every day, or toxic thoughts with the skull and bones on it that you're only bringing to your life every single day, and you have nobody to blame but yourself. And this is something I like to bring to you guys, and hopefully you'll understand. It's all about your life. It's all about who you are as a person. Now, a lot of us are at the age where we're saying, look, I don't like where I've been. I want to change it. And that was what I digressed from. How do you change ill will, grudge, toxic thoughts? A purpose. A purpose, a goal, a dream that you focus on every single day. What you want to have, be, and do is going to naturally get rid of those thoughts that hurt you. Indeed, you can think of that person that hurt you, but the feelings associated with that are the ones that really hurt you. Yeah, you can think about it. Yeah, I had a bad time, but I learned so much from that person. The ill will is gone, guys. What you focus on is what you bring upon. When you realize what you're thinking about, you realize what you're bringing about. Any kind of experience that has hurt you in the past is going to be there forever. You have to manage it. But how do you manage it? How do you manage it? Looking backwards? No. Looking forward? Yes. Because you're going to naturally evolve in those thoughts every single day. Not to dismiss it, but understand it. You know, time doesn't heal old wounds. They don't. Only you can. It's your choice to heal. And it's your choice to move forward. Remember, if you live in tonic thoughts, you can only create from that. If you live in toxic thoughts every day, you can only create from that. It's your choice. It's the free will that they've been talking about for thousands of years. They're saying, look, you have a choice to live righteously, hence holy, the mind, body, and spirit way, or you can pick your poison, whatever you want to do in life. But you can't blame anybody but yourself. Remember that, guys. So I am going to, Jesus, I've been talking a lot tonight. I'm going to let you guys go. Think for your own benefit. You know, even for shits and giggles, you know, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Lipton, check out his work if you're really into not necessarily transformation, but the ramifications of not changing your mind. It'll scare you. It'll scare you but the good thing is you have control. You have control to heal yourself, and you have the control to destroy yourself. You have this choice in life. And to me, living the best way of life is in a mind of peace and a life full of looking at it in such a beautiful way.